going on, Jerome? So of course, the goal every single season is to win the Super Bowl, right? And the Vikings, in a rebuilding season where they had some dead cap, Kirk Cousins left, became a backup in Atlanta. Danielle Hunter's doing great. Vikings had a prodigious free agent class. They got the quarterback of the future. They got Diamond Dallas Turner, and also they got Slinging Sammy Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback, as a bridge quarterback. And things are looking pretty good. Pretty good. But are the Vikings going to win a Super Bowl? Let's just ask the question that everyone wants to know. I understand. Take it 1 week at a time. The Vikings are in a very good spot right now. Win out, you win the NFC North, probably the 1 seed as well, pending on strength of victory tiebreakers with the Eagles if they indeed win out as well. So the Vikings at Seattle whip some ass, beat the Packers and Jay Cutler. Packers ass Jay Cutler, as well as beat the Lions on the road. Yeah, the very banged up Detroit Lions. So the Vikings 12-2, easily could be 15-2. And then you look at the current playoff picture. The Vikings currently the 5, secured a playoff spot. It's fantastic. They certainly could push for the 1, depending on what happens with Detroit, who is extremely banged up, as well as the Eagles. I think the Eagles lose on Sunday at the Commies. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And like I said, the Lions' remaining schedule, I do think that the Bears are going to give them a game on the road in Chicago, where the Lions lost last year, on the road at San Francisco. Hey, Brock Purdy one time. And, of course, Week 18, the Lions are going to lose against the Vikings. Long story longer. PFF, Pro Football Focus. I love their power ranking system because it has other projections all up in here, too. Vikings right now are tied for 6, tied with the Packers. Whatever. But in terms of points, what would the line be if they played an absolute average NFL team, composite of the averages, on a neutral site? Vikings would be 4.4 point favorites. Nailed it. The Chiefs still 8.9. I don't know if I buy that. The Eagles 8.4. The Bills 7.4. I don't know. The Lions still at 7.3. I definitely do not buy that at all. Given their injuries, no Montgomery. Nah, don't trust it. The Vikings project to have 13.5 wins. Lions at 13.9. Still not buying it, like we said. Vikings are 99.99999% to make the playoffs, basically 100%. But, of course, in math, you can never say a 100%, which is stupid. But the Vikings in the playoffs. Now, here's what's interesting. So the Vikings are 27% to win the NFC North, which would entail the Vikings winning out, and the Lions, even if they win their next 2 games, if they lose Week 18 against the Vikings would indeed take the division. And for the Lions, so still at 73%, I think that's a little bit low. I would say that the Lions and the Vikings are about 50-50 right now. Also, the Packers have less than 1% chance to win the division, but they are not winning the division because they are sucking hind teat in the NFC North, which is kind of weird. Hey, do you guys remember when Ryan Poles said that the Bears are going to take the NFC North and never give it back? But Lions and the Vikings notched up at 12-2, Packers at 10-4, Bears, maybe not so much. It's funny to me. But the Vikings, 27% to win the division. They are, also if they win the division, likely to have the 1 seed as well. If they win the conference championship, that's at 14%. So the Vikings making the Super Bowl, which winning the Super Bowl is what matters. Vikings currently listed at 7% via PFF. Now, here's what's interesting. The Vikings haven't made a Super Bowl since, 1976, 1977, one of the two. All right, so like 10 years before I was born, the Vikings last lost the Super Bowl. Again, I'm fed up about having to tell my kids about, hey, the Vikings lost some really bad NFC title games, so I don't know. I want to talk about losing Super Bowls, man. Nah, that ain't it. But 7% one time. Plus, you absolutely know the bright lights. That's what Justin Jefferson is about. I mean, he played and won in championships at LSU, slinging Sammy Darnold, a.k.a. America's quarterback. I feel like the moment won't be too big for him. That defense is going to get after someone's ass, and it's just going to be fantastic. 1 week, one step at a time. Beat Seattle. It's going to be a big-time challenge. Beat the Packers, beat the Lions. Get the North, get the 1 seed. Everything comes through U.S. Bank Stadium. Randy Moss sounds the Gala horn for the NFC title game. And then we march down to New Orleans, and we take on whoever. I honestly Do not care. Hey, is it the Chiefs? Is it the Bills? Is it the Ravens? Is it the Steelers? I do not give a flying poop. Do not care in the slightest, because we're going to whip somebody's ass. That's right. Also, just getting Harrison Smith a ring one time. Glorious. But 7%, I'll take that. I'll take that. It's like having 3 outs on the river. Let's go, man. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings, 7% to win the Super Bowl, 27% to win the North. Seems low, both accounts. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.